shakalaka. What's going on, everybody? Randall here from Crypto Love, and today I am joined by Crypto Face by popular request. A lot of you guys saw him and wanted me to have him on the channel for an interview, so he was kind enough to respond with a yes. What's up, man?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Sorry, I'm fighting with my dog right now. I bought one of your shirts last year, actually, for an ex-girlfriend of mine, the unicorn one. Boom. That's the one. The unicorn shitting a Bitcoin. And so, yeah, dude, I bought one of your shirts last year. And yeah, thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
Dude, it's a big
everybody.
Yeah, it's a big pleasure. You're a big hit recently with Market Cipher. That seems to be a pretty cool platform you got out there. So I think we'll talk about that at length. I guess just give everyone an idea of what Market Cipher is, because then I want to find out about you.
Okay. So yeah, I know I have been doing, I've been on a bunch of interviews and videos lately. And so I know we can be accused of shilling and whatnot. No, we're just trying to sell stuff, whatever. But no, Market Cipher is blowing up for a good reason. Market Cipher is just an indicator package that myself and my partner created. And it's really just a combination of multiple indicators. There's some basic stuff from like the RSIs to VWAP that's all have been adjusted and back tested to what's worked for me. And plus there's also some special indicators in Market Cipher that we created ourselves. And you know, I never worked for Charles Schwab. I never worked for Goldman Sachs. And so I'm not some guy with a stick up my ass who thinks everything has to be grammatically correct and whatnot. But this indicator, I know that if it worked for me, that it could work for, I think, the majority of other people. And so really we just ended up selling it and sharing it. And the results have been astonishing. And no matter what you do, there's going to be haters and whatnot. There's people that are saying that I just took some free indicators, copy and pasted, slapped together. And that's totally not true. And at the end of the day, the results speak for themselves. Like my trade group and the people that have Market Cipher, there's a good few thousand of them, can post their trade logs openly in my Discord. And anyone can just go there and see that there's so many people that whether they're brand new to trading or have been getting, if they've been shitty traders, to even, I have a couple guys that are top 10 in BitMEX. And they've all feel like they've majorly improved, maybe some a little bit, some more than others. But the results have been terrific. And yeah, I think that's why it's been blowing up. It's awesome. It looks great. It's what worked for me. And if it can work for me, it can work for damn near anybody else too. So yeah, go Market Cipher.
Yeah, that's cool. Because we were talking right before we started recording this, and you were mentioning someone who we won't mention names, but they 25x their money in like 2 weeks, which is pretty incredible when you look at different types of things. Now, it should be said, all types of investing is risky. Even with the best indicators in the world, it all depends on how you trade them. So like emotional trading isn't going to help and different things like that. But that's really incredible that they were able to do that.
Yeah. There is a Market Cipher bot as well. And I am going to be releasing that, but we want to release it in a certain way. And this bot is going to scorch. It is going to lay waste to all the competition. And so in order to make it affordable for as many people as possible and profitable in the long term for me and my team, right? There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes. We have to build a platform, development, legal stuff. But hopefully the bot will be able to be, the bot itself, the Market Cipher bot is already done. It's been running for me for 2 months and it is amazing. It's the best bot ever. And I can't wait. I know Market Cipher's already changed a lot of people's lives for the better. It's going to continue to do so. And when this bot, Cynthia is the name. I believe that just like a boat. Every bot should have a name. So her name is Cynthia. She's gonna shit on everybody.
Cool. Can't wait to christen her with a bottle of wine or something.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome. Well, cool. Good intro to Market Cipher. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Like, have you been into bots and trading for a while? I saw you did some videos on Profit Trailer. So I know you've been to bots for a little bit, but tell me about that.
Yeah. So my channel originally started, it was about programming trade bots. And there was a couple different ones, but the main one was Profit Trailer. That was the first one. And for the people that have been with me since then, they know what the Cobra settings were. Those were that was like my name for a certain type of settings that kicked ass. And I started YouTubing. And I'm not trying to throw shade on anyone, but the people that were YouTubing at the time and putting out settings, they were not getting good results. Everyone was getting shitbagged. And I knew that, and it was really hard to watch. They were boring, really lengthy. They'd go off topic. And there are some good things about them too. I don't want to completely shit on like Crypto Gnome and Crypto Crow and those guys, but I just felt like it could there was better, and I could do better. And yeah, we got to like 5K subs really quick. The trade bot was kicking ass, and trade bots most of the time it's not just set it and forget it. You have to nurture them and nurse them a little bit. Mm-hmm. In a good bot, you want to nurture less and less, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, the channel really started with focus on trade bots. I was always trading. Here is another issue, is programmers and developers are not traders. They might be a program developer and they're trying to trade, but they might be great at building a bot and technology to do something. But when it comes to executing and technically, a lot of them fall really short. And so, yeah, I just felt that I could, I knew enough to be able to get into the trade bots. I'm not a developer. And so specifically with bots, that was definitely a learning experience for me. Mm-hmm. But I was able to, we started with trade bots. That's how my channel started.
Let me ask your opinion on something you just said, because you said that like bots take a bit of tweaking, but then when you get it right, it doesn't take so much. So one thing that I heard a while ago was that the only people who make money off of trading bots are the people who create them. But also they said that like in order to have an accurate trading bot, you always need to be changing it in terms of conditions of the market and things like that. So I'm curious because you're obviously doing very good with this and you have a very accurate trading platform. So what's your opinion on those things?
Well, I can understand why people say that. Similar to like the gold rush, 99% of people that move to, let's say like in America, the San Francisco gold rush, thousands of people moved to San Francisco to try to mine gold. And I mean, less than 1% were able to actually mine gold and do it profitably. So they said the real smart thing to do was to sell picks and sell the axes, right? And there is some truth to that. Same thing with, all these people rushed to mine Bitcoin, right? And what happened to all the farms? They all got wrecked, most of them. Mm-hmm. But the people that made money were the ones that were selling the machines and renting out the office spaces and, the things that they actually used. The majority of people that are out there right now talking about how to program bots and how you can do it too, they don't end up getting good results. And some of it can be on their end, some of it can be on the user's end too, right? Just like, for example, with Market Cipher. Terrific indicator. I believe it's almost perfect, but it's not entering and exiting the trades for me. I am still human, so there's still emotion behind what I do, so I can still screw something up, and it's my fault, not the indicator. So blame can kind of go on both sides. Trade bots can work; they do work. It's the reason why I started YouTubing about it, because the settings that were out there and what was popular and out there was not working. So the majority of people were just getting absolutely wrecked. And so I can see why people would say that. And I think overall, as a rule, it's actually kind of right. So hopefully you can find the right people or find the right person to learn from. And then hopefully you're disciplined enough yourself to be able to apply the things that you're supposed to be learning to do it successfully. So I see both ways.
So what does it take to be a really good trader? And
Great
also
question.
bot trader. Yeah.
Discipline is the first word that comes to mind. And I feel like discipline encompasses like patience. But yet you have to be able to pull the trigger, countering your greed. That's why I feel like the more, like when I talk to the old traders, the older gentlemen that are in their 50s or 60s, they gear more towards if they enter in along, let's say at $10,000, if it goes broop, and moves up to 10,150, they get out and take their money. They do not hold and wait for more and try to get more and try to get more and not try to get rich. Trading is not here's what it takes to be successful. If you can convince yourself that you are not going to get rich quick or not going to get rich overnight, but convince yourself that trading is just an avenue to consistently build an asset, whether it be fiat, gold, Bitcoin, if you can be happy with taking the moves, the little gains, right? And they add up a lot. And I've always found that if you have 1 week, if you have one trade you enter, and let's say you try to guess a big move by the end of the week, and even if you're right, let's say you get it right, Bitcoin goes up like $800 by the end of the week, and you were right. Good job. You can still make more money by cutting the meat on all the moves on the inside, you know? And in essence, it can be less risky. It's easier for someone that's maybe has an issue with their greed. A lot of people have a hard time entering a trade and sitting back and going to do something else. They want to be in front of their computer. And so I think just what it takes to be a successful trader is discipline, being real with yourself. And I think that kind of covers it all. We can go into a far, far detail of what it takes to be a good trader. But discipline,
I like that.
Take your wins. Yeah.
Yeah, discipline is very important. I read this book, The Way of the Turtle, where they turned a whole bunch of like average people into really good traders. And it was just basically finding something that will make you money in the long term and consistently sticking to that. And yeah, so I like that. And also the don't be greedy thing. I heard that too. Yeah.
The big moves come. Like the big moves are there and they'll be there to surprise you, right? So like if Market Cipher gives me an entry to long on like the 5 or the 15 minute, I'll be like, okay, if it just moves up $100, I'll take the profit. But sometimes it won't just go up 100. It'll go up a lot. The moves come quick with crypto. They'll be like, bam. You know what I mean? And so you don't have to hit a home run every time. It's okay to hit base hits, doubles, triples. And man, you'll find that if you're always in a position, if you're always in a trade, it really can wear on you. And it's weared on me before, you know? And so it's okay to exit a trade off of a single move. I think a lot of people would benefit if they just did that.
Okay. So, I mean, you're talking about a lot of these like short-term trades. How much time do you spend trading in a day? And also like how much time would someone need to spend in order to find benefit in using Market Cipher?
These are really good questions that you're asking. No one else has really asked me these types of questions before, so good questions. As far as how much time I put into trading, it actually varies. Lately in my life, I am becoming very busy where I'm not able to sit there and trade all the time. Sometimes I can, but I'll give you an example. Like for the past 2 weeks, I have been able to maybe look at a chart for maybe like 30 minutes a day, 15 minutes to an hour a day. Yet I have actually been more accurate with my trades the past 2 weeks than I was when I had all day to look at the charts. I mean, even just tonight, we longed at $10,077 and it went up to $10,210. This was like right now. This was tonight before this video. And I didn't need to sit there and I let the opportunity came to me. I looked at the charts and I saw, okay, we're kind of at this kind of a bottom. This pattern looks good. We have a little indication here. I'm going to pull the trigger. And the move went up and I got out. And so I don't think time is an excuse that people can use for not being able to trade, because I've been able to trade with very little time, been able to trade with a lot of time. In fact, you might have an advantage of having less time to trade because you kind of look at a smarter, broader view of things, and you're not getting stuck in the mix and the bullshit of the 1 minute chart and 3 minute chart, 5 minute chart, and all these assholes in chat rooms and signal groups and whale alerts of USDT deposits for Bitcoin. You don't need any of that nonsense. Less time's better. If you're a single mom, if you're some asshole and if you're an engineer or a construction worker and you got 30 minutes to trade, like you can do it.
All right, dude, that's awesome.
You have the right tools.
Yeah, it makes it available to anyone. I'm curious, when you trade, do you have some type of thing that'll set your buys, your stop losses, sell orders, everything like that? Because I used to use 3 commas because that was pretty helpful for doing it. Do you use something like that?
No, I don't.
Do it manually. You like purchase order and then you just kind of watch the trade until it's time to sell off?
Yes and no. I don't always sit there and watch the trade. Well, World of Warcraft, the re-release just came out. And so I am no-lifing it with my brother playing World of Warcraft right now. It just came out yesterday. So yes, I am playing World of Warcraft, and I do have my eye on the Bitcoin price. So yeah, I do have my eye on the price. But I do not have some program that says, no matter what the situation, if it goes minus X%, then I stop loss. Now, for a bot, that's a different story, right? A trade bot, for example, Cynthia, and I don't want to release too much, but Cynthia does, a trade bot does have something like that where if it goes a certain amount down, it'll cut it, right? Does that answer your question?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
It's funny you bring up World of Warcraft because that was actually the first proof of work cryptocurrency, kind of, or the first proof of work coin. So I was talking with someone from BitGuild, and they make cryptocurrency games now, but basically they owned a gold mining farm in China back like years ago with World of Warcraft. And so it was basically the first proof of work because they had all these people doing like just grinding out, earning gold, and then they actually sold that for money. So pretty cool. Yeah.
So there's for those of you that don't know, maybe this is kind of nerd talk right here, but in World of Warcraft, there's these Chinese sweatshops where they have 6 little Chinese guys playing World of Warcraft to get gold, in-game gold and items, and they sell it to people in the real world. So yeah, it's its own economy itself. So yeah, it makes sense. Hell, Vitalik was a World of Warcraft nerd. Probably still is. So yeah, man. Wow.
I mean, that game, and also I used to do search engine optimization back in the day, and a lot of people in that, a lot of like the biggest people in that, they were like competitive Magic the Gathering players, like some of the top players. But it's cool. It's cool how everyone comes together.
Yeah, I never got that deep. I know I used to collect the cards. Same with like Pokemon stuff when I was little. I always say the first thing I ever traded was Pokemon cards. You know, I used to buy them, repackage them, make sure there was good enough cards so the customers were happy, you know, on the playground. So yeah, all that stuff, you know.
So you've been an entrepreneur since pretty young.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of get it from my dad. I've a salesman, entrepreneur, although I really don't like the term salesman because you think of some asshole used car salesman with a little shitter briefcase. But I like the way of forging my own path, and I have failed and been through many ups and downs before. In the end, like I feel like, for example, probably my least favorite question, a question that I get the most that bothers me, besides why you wear a mask, is if you have some trading indication that's so good, why would you share it to anyone? Like, why would you want to help people out there in the world? Why aren't you a greedy fuck like everybody else? It's like, I never understood that question, because I believe that if you have something that is good, whether it be a product or a service that solves a problem, and trading successfully is a problem for a lot of people. It is your duty it's my duty to sell it at a reasonable price, and put it out there. And the proof's in the pudding. And they go, well, why can't you just trade with you? Why would you have to have multiple incomes, right? Like, I don't get it. It's like, well, if you want to grow up in life and be successful and have things for your children, your grandchildren, you want to have multiple streams of income and whatnot.
Yeah.
And people with Market Cipher make their money back their first day. Not all of them, but a lot of them. A lot of them. I get messages every day. People are like, it's my second day. I've already made $2,000, $3,000. Like, way to go. I got the proof right here. So yeah, I always believe if I found something good that can help people, like how can I turn this into something, so.
Yeah, it's giving back to the world. It's creating something that people can use. I think a lot of the critics, it comes from like the 9-to-5er mentality where you only have one source of income. Because I heard this quote the other week that I couldn't stop laughing at. It's like there's two terrible addictions in life: heroin and a monthly paycheck. And it's like,
that's a good one.
Yeah. So but there was something else that you were talking. Okay, so here's another question. What happens when everybody's using Market Cipher? Like, wouldn't if I was using it, wouldn't I not be able to make as much money?
All right. So do you mean if like everyone starts using Market Cipher, like will it somehow reverse its ability to be correct?
Yeah. And like, will I not be able to make as much money because now I don't have like the latest, greatest secret thing?
No, that is a like fear created fallacy. Give you an example. Do you think do the RSIs overall, like, are those a positive thing? Do RSIs work? Does the money flow index work? Does any other standard indicator that we all know, Fibonacci, right? Does Fibonacci work? Yeah, right? They don't maybe not work 100% of the time, but they do work. Everyone uses them. Market Cipher can never get too big, like never. If it just won't happen. And if somehow it did, like, there is so much money in so many markets in the world, from gold to stocks to options. There's what, maybe 2,000 people that use Market Cipher. And everyone start going, no, crypto face, he's got billions of dollars. It's like, no, I don't just keep every single Bitcoin of market. It is a business. There's partners, there's employment, there's expenses. But no, Market Cipher will never get too big. That's not going to happen. The world is too big and we are still very small. So we're fine.
So do you ever talk about where you think Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are going?
Yeah. I used to like, here, let me show you something.
Yeah.
You see this?
Yeah.
All right. So when my channel first started, this is a chart of what I call, this is actually two prophecies that I kind of mixed into one. And this was the original prophecy, okay? So Bitcoin was right about here when I started drawing these certain things that are a little adult-like, right?
I really like your terminology for it, like successful double scrotum ball and butt joke and, blown wad.
This was the start of my channel, man. And so this is like why I frame this stuff, right? So we saw a double scrotum off of a Bollinger Band. And I said, like, this is going to launch Bitcoin. And I drew some adult type things and some stuff. We had some fun and it all became true. Even like this one, this was the big one. This was the big dump right here. So, okay, this blue line, I hope you can see it. Was where the chart was, right? This was all blank. And I drew this ass and this big dump coming, right? And I was a little off by the time scale by like 2 weeks, okay? And it dumped almost exact. Even these poops. I drew these poops before the dump happened. Like this stuff. And so, yeah, my channel originally was famous, got big because of the prophecies, right? Yeah. So, yeah, I don't always know what Bitcoin's going to necessarily do. I do more now with Market Cipher, that's for sure. But, yeah, I've had some pretty good calls. Called the dump down to 4K when everyone was saying Bitcoin was going to go to like 15 or 20. I also thought it was going to go to 1,500, which that didn't happen. But the big deal is I said, I'll tell you what, here's my next one. Screw the past. Fact. Coming out in September. Fact is not bullish. Fact is going to shit on the market on September. And if I'm wrong, I'll fall on the sword. But even with the technicals, when Backed launches in September, it is going to be the most lubricated, primed, X-lax time for a dump to occur. So doesn't matter if your trades are backed by Bitcoin, people. They're not the ones paying it. If it's coming from you. It's coming from you, you know? So Backed is maybe bullish long term, but when Backed comes out, it's going to dump in September.
Yeah, I was looking at that as something like that today because it's one of those things that everybody's been looking at. They've been like, they've been thinking, like, first there was Arthur Hayes talking about, with BitMEX, talking about how Bitcoin was going to be $50,000 and people started going crazy and the price dumped. And then there was, everything that people, it seems like all these things that people think are going to shoot the price up actually have a reverse effect on it.
Pretty much every single time. And it's kind of just like common sense. Like if you know how the kind of corporate, not even just the corporate mind mogul works, but the financial mogul mind, it is so much easier to dump, especially a market like this, than it is to pump it. And, you know, if you pump something, you have to go into so much sell pressure, where if you dump something, it's like, boom, you can dump it, swoop, and then whoo. You know, it's just easier to do. It's just the way the world works. And I know a lot of popular people are talking, and some of them are even smart people. But yeah, I think Backed is going to dump come September. That's my next prophecy. I'll put it. I have to make a drawing.
Gotta draw another butt. Yeah.
Crayon chart. Yeah.
So how long does it take someone to become an effective trader or a good enough trader to where they can actually start earning money consistently?
Wow, that's a really good question. You know, the problem with good questions is the answer is normally it depends. You know what I mean? Yeah. It depends on the person, and it depends on what their goals are, whether they're just doing it as a hobby, whether they're actually trying to pay the light bill, right? I started out successful. I've definitely had my losses. I've taken some licks. I have had some very rough public lynchings even too, where, you know, I lost money and I got a lot of shit for it. So I've been there, but overall I was always I was always pretty profitable and always good at it. Although I'm certainly better now than I could say I was years ago. But if I'm someone who's brand new, it really depends on the person. It depends on the person.
Brand new. Let's say someone's brand new. They never really tried trading, but you know, they listen to you. They think that you've got a good product there. Like, how long would it take them to really be able to get something valuable from it, to consistently make money with it?
You know, my dad just recently got Market Cipher about 2 weeks ago. And my dad's never traded before. He's always had stocks and whatnot, but he's had someone else manage it all for him. And my dad has had 3 trades. 2 out of the 3 were in profit. And his one loss was very small. Now, my dad knows nothing about Head and Shoulders, doesn't know what the RSI is, doesn't know anything. All he does know is when this little yellow line goes above here, and this white thing cuts into here, and this happens, it looks pretty good. And I would probably put money on my dad out trading a lot of other people that know what Head and Shoulders and RSIs are. And so, would I trust my dad with hundreds of thousands of dollars to manage over a year time? Probably not. But he is retired. He's got the time. He can put the time into it, and it's fun to him. Mm-hmm. And so that's like a good recipe for success. So to me, he's successful right from the get-go. But other people, maybe not so much. Mm-hmm. Like I said, Mr. Love, it depends on the person.
That's always a good answer. I learned that in real estate, that the answer should always be it depends.
Yeah. And if you have to take a shit, it's if you need to take a shit and you're 60 years old, depends is probably your answer as well.
That is a good one. Yeah, definitely depends. And that's actually the sponsor of this episode.
Yeah, when you get wrecked, I'm telling you, when you enter that leverage trade, you make a leverage account, you might need some depends. Yeah. It might be your best friend. Because I tell you what, in fact, I'm pretty sure my worst loss publicly was when I was taking a dump. And it caused a lot of problems for me because there were friends and followers that, I won't go into it too much, but the worst loss I've had publicly, I was gone for 2 minutes, and it was when I was taking a dump, the market dumped, and the Winklevoss brothers screwed me on the ETF rejection. That's what happened.
Wow.
It was my fault too. I'm not going to blame someone else for me losing money, whatever. But it was when the Winklevoss shit happened. It was the first ETF that got rejected. Mm-hmm. I was taking a shit. Winklevoss took a shit, and so did Bitcoin, and so did my trade, and a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you've made it through that, and that's important. I also heard of someone else. I met a trader, Siam Kid. I think he has a book or something called the $25,000 Pop Tart or something like that. I stepped away to make a Pop-Tart, and then boom, lost $25,000 like that. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
And so I've learned to, probably not, you don't want to expose yourself to those types of positions. It's probably not a good idea without the necessary protection. Mm-hmm. God, I was just going to say something really good, Love, and I just forgot what it was. But
was it a condom joke because he said protection?
No, but that did come to my mind.
Yeah.
I think I was going to show, I don't know, something. I was going to show something. Oh, yes, it was even my losses, right? So like even the other people's money that I've lost. Mm-hmm. For example, the Winklevoss thing, there was a good $150,000 that was lost, right? But we came back better, stronger, where 150,000, I mean, I have maybe 1,600 people in my whale club that follow my trades and stuff like that, right? And when I look at these profit logs, I see people making 10,000, 20,000, some make 100, some make 1,000, but 150 grand in losses is nothing compared to how much people are making now with what myself and my partner and my brother and my loved ones have been able to put out here and help people with. So it is a blessing. Thank God for Bitcoin. Thank God for YouTube. This space has the best and brightest people, the most pure of heart, and it has the most scum, evil, and terrible people as well. And it's like a constant clash of that happening. And I'm definitely going through it. The mask attracts a lot of it as well. The mask has helped get me to where I am kind of now. With the lovers and the haters. I have the weirdest and craziest stalkers. I get death threats every day. I get people threatening that they're going to dox me, and they've somehow decoded Market Cipher and the indicators that I created inside of that, which is they cannot do. Actually, just the other day, so I won't even actually give them light, but there's people that ask me for the stupidest things. I have some of the weirdest people and scammers, but I also, the majority of people are good, and they just want to better their life. And they also want to help other people too. In our Discord, we have people that have just put their own time into making videos and spreadsheets, and they're sharing their secrets, right, of what works for them and how it can work for other people. So it's like, well, why aren't these people greedy bastards and keeping it to themselves? Because they don't want to burn in rotten hell, and they're not dead inside like some of you people that are hate on it, you know? So don't be a hater, be a lover, be a crypto lover. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's my spiel.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's so many good people in crypto, and most people are good. It's just that, like, the assholes on Twitter and everything, they're a lot more vocal, you know?
And it's like, just because you got scammed by some BitConnector shit token, don't call me a scammer. I'm telling you, there's real scams out there. There's some, give you an example, BitSilk. BitSilk are these assholes on Discord that flood all of these. There are some shitty signal groups and there's some legit ones. And they claim that they've stolen trade signals from all these other traders. And you go, that's a scam. That's a scam. People that are trying to tell you that Market Cipher, they got the code and they're selling it to you for 0.1 or 0.01. That's a scam. You know, ICO bullshit's putting a team of fake made up people in bullshit shit tokens. That's a scam. So yeah, there's real scams out there. Don't call me a scam. That's not fair. You know?
Exactly. We have feelings too, damn it.
Yeah, well, big time, man. You know how many times I've had to cry crypto love. I've cried.
Dude, I don't think people get it how, like, even though there's, like, you know, 10 positive comments, there's still 2 just like nasty cutting comments that are just like, that just gut you every once in a while. And it took me a while. Like, I remember when I first got started on YouTube, I remember my first troll comment because I was waiting for it. I was like, I'll know I made it as a YouTuber when I finally got a troll comment. But then, like, after a while, I'd literally have to mentally prepare myself before I could respond to comments because, like, you put everything you have into these videos, and then it's like good comments, and you're like, awesome, I did good. And then there's just one nasty person that's just like, man, how messed up must their life be to write stuff like they write?
Man, it's rough. And like I said, there's people making websites about me now, and like, here's one thing. Like, this one website, they're like, the meat and potatoes of Market Cipher, the momentum wave, right? They're like, all it is this momentum wave, but with a few adjustments, it's like this. I'm like, well, no shit. Those adjustments were back-tested settings that took us months to figure out. Months. And so now that you have an end product, you're like, oh, well, it's just this indicator adjusted with this, that, and this. And now it's like, well, no shit. Someone had to figure all that shit out. You know what I mean? Yep. You know, it's like a car. It's like a car. It's like, you know, you can buy a Porsche, right? Or you can get some tires. You can buy a motor. You can get a radiator and put it all together yourself. There's people out there that build cars. Most of us aren't computer nerds that want to dive into this indicator bullshit and Pine scripts. They want the end product that works, right? That already is trusted. And so, yeah, man, just because we're hard on the outside doesn't mean we're soft on the inside. You know, it doesn't mean we're not soft on the inside.
Exactly.
I'm a lover. I'm a lover too, bro.
Dude, that's what it's all about. It's all about love. Yeah. And like the people saying that you took something and you altered. I mean, that's like basically anything that anyone's ever done is just change something previous to make it better. We're standing on the shoulders of giants. Like literally every movie out there is just an adaptation of a Shakespeare play. Like he wrote everything, and now people are just making it a little bit different.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, it's and it's far beyond that. Like I don't know, Market Cipher to me is beautiful. It's amazing, and it is the same to so many other people. The proof's in the pudding. The numbers don't lie. I mean, 9 out of 10 people, if not more, that get it, like, are so happy with it, and they're so excited. I've been accused of botting other people's channels because people are like, "Please, Market Cipher, what do you think? Can you talk about Crypto Face?" You know, and like I didn't send anyone on your channel. You know what I mean? But people, they found something that works, and it's hard to find things that work. You know. And so they get excited about it, and don't shit on those people. Like, if you're just a hater, Like, man, you're just a hater, you know, and get over it. But I've been a hater too. And I've told the story before, I used to talk shit about Dale Earnhardt Jr. all the time. I'd say NASCAR sucks. Dale Jr. Dale Jr. You know? And I never watched NASCAR to know anything about it.
Oh, man.
I started watching NASCAR years ago and I fell in love with it. And then I heard Dale Jr. And he's such a nice, good man. And I was like, man, I can't believe I used to talk shit about Dale Jr. So no more. No more. Tom Brady. Fucking love Tom Brady. I never talk shit about Tom Brady. But like so many people hate on Tom Brady. And it's like, he's the best, man. Like, what has Tom Brady ever done to you? He's not scamming anyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody's just jealous.
He deflated some footballs.
Everybody's just jealous because he's like a top I mean, I don't like how he wins all the time either. But he's like an amazing football player. He was like a last round pick that nobody thought was going to do anything.
Right.
He's banging a super hot model. I mean, and still he's like 40 and he looks like he's 25. Like, you know, how much better could you have going for you? That's why everybody's angry with him. I mean, it's just because you have a product that really works, that people really like it. That's why everyone says all this nasty stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah. But the majority, you know, I remember what I wanted to say too, is that 9 out of 10 people are good, but the sour ones are really loud, right? Like if you have, like it's like a turd. Turds really stink. So if you have a bucket of potato chips, a nice big bucket, those 2 little turds are going to stink. You know, it's like, well, fuck, most of these chips in here are nice, but unfortunately, there's 2 turds and it smells.
That's a brilliant analogy.
Yeah.
I'm glad we met because I see we think kind of the same way.
Dude, me too. I like I said, I bought one of your shirts last year and, yeah, thanks for having me on. You're a cool dude. And so I don't know where you live. I know you live far away because it's nighttime where I am. It's daytime where you are.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I go back and forth between Thailand and Bulgaria, my 2 favorite places on earth. So I just go back and forth. Basically, there's a couple requirements for me to live somewhere. Really hot girls, super cheap to live there, fast internet, and warm weather.
Bulgaria, huh? Like I know a lot of people like people tell me to go to Thailand all the time, right? Might be going soon, but Bulgaria.
Yeah. Bulgaria's awesome. I don't want to say this because I don't want more people coming here, but it is like literally the most underrated place on the face of the planet.
Why?
Beautiful cities, amazing. Like there are mountains here that would rival the Swiss Alps in terms of beauty. Super friendly people, like the friendliest, and girls are drop dead gorgeous. They are like all just like amazing, and they're the friendliest girls. Like you go other places in the world, you chat up girls, and they have like attitude and shit. Every girl here you talk to her, she's so friendly. Even if she has boyfriend, she's not available, she's interested in girls or whatever the thing is, she'll still talk with you, be super friendly with you. Thank you so much for coming over and talking to her. It's incredible. Yeah, so I love it.
I don't know if that's a good thing because I'll tell you, like I might be led on by a girl that still gives me that little smile. You know what I'm saying? A little twinkle in the eye and says, hey, thanks. I might be like, damn, that girl might want me to come back, even though she might be taken right now. But I'll have to check out Bulgaria. What are they, dark-haired women? Dark hair? Are they white or what do they look like?
Yeah, so mostly dark brunettes, brown eyes, white. A lot of them are actually like tall and thin. I'm not too fan of tall girls. Like I've had girlfriends that were as tall as me or taller, and it's hard to cuddle them, so I wasn't a big fan of that.
Okay.
But it's just it's incredible because I have a friend visiting me here right now from Greece, and I was telling him, I was like, dude, the first time I fell in love with Bulgaria was when I was like sitting somewhere and I watched a beautiful girl walk by and I didn't go talk to her, and I was so upset with myself. And then I just turned my head back the other way, and here comes another one. That's what it is. It's just like, here's one, here's another, here's another, here's another.
Oh, see, that's a good one. I'm telling you, I don't know if some people, I hate it when I miss an opportunity. It happens once in a while. It'll ruin my day. Mm-hmm. I'll see a girl, or like, I'll even talk to her first, and I'll be like, fuck, why didn't I? It happened out of PetSmart a couple months ago. I even talked about on my channel. Mm-hmm. This girl was so hot, and she liked my shorts. I had little weed plants on my shorts. Even if you don't smoke weed, if you have a weed plant on your clothes, Girls will talk to you. I'm telling you. And she's like, hey, I like your shorts. I don't even remember what happened, but she was so hot. It's cool. And I didn't pull the trigger. Didn't pull the trigger for whatever reason, or couldn't pull the trigger. And I got home and I hated myself. I hated myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
now
one
I'm
of those
reminded of it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you just kick yourself afterwards. Like, but I mean, even if a girl walks by me and like a minute later I'm kicking myself, if I could still see her, I'll just go run after her because I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna kick myself for the rest of the day if I don't do this. She could blow me up. If she just gives me a terrible time, she calls me an asshole, smacks me across the face, it'll still be less bad than me kicking myself for the rest of the day.
And not knowing. That's right. It's the things you don't do that you regret for the most part in life. You know, it's the things that you don't do that you end up really regretting for sure. So
cool. So like for all the people watching here, because it sounds like Market Cipher is awesome. And, you know, we're just having a chat here. This isn't paid. This isn't anything like this. But it's just people from the channel requested that I have you on the channel because they've used Market Cipher. They enjoyed it. I mean, we talked previously about a common friend of ours who 25x his money in 2 weeks. So for people who are interested in this, where can they find out more information? Where can they see how it works and how can they get involved?
Okay. Thank you for asking that question. So I do have a website called shittokens.com. That is mine. And you can also go to crypto.com. On my channel, there's links on any YouTube description. In fact, in my Discord, I have here, I'm going to share my screen real quick. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right, I'll do it. Okay, are you able to see this?
Yep.
Okay. These are profit logs, for example, right? This was, what's today? Tuesday, Monday. I got Market Cipher 10 days ago and make some newbie mistakes, but now I am 50%, including the false starts. I can't even understand what the CF Market Cipher rocks. One losing trade due to personal shit, whatever. All these people, so happy. These people are so happy. Anyway, profit log. So if you want to come and check everything out, go to my Discord link, okay? Mm-hmm. Let's take a look. See here. Okay. Here's testimonials on Market Cipher. These are not paid. These are all people that just whatever, right? Have Market Cipher or my trade group. Profit logs here. They can check those out. There's a Market Cipher tutorials tab right here where like, here we go. Here's my video on introducing Market Cipher that I made when I released it, right? Released Market Cipher. So you can go in here, sniff around. If you get Market Cipher, you get access to 2 chat rooms. One's a swing channel. One's a scalp channel where all people that have Market Cipher can huddle together and talk around. I do say be careful because there are people who don't know what they're talking about. And there are people who are due. If someone does know who they're talking about and they're credited, I try to give them a tag. If it's someone that I kind of trust with like being able to give info and knowledge and customer service and whatnot, like you'll know. So yeah, they can go into my Discord, play around in there. That's pretty much it. Yeah, please go in there. Look at the profit logs. Like these are all recent, right? This was, well, it says yesterday because it's now past midnight. This dude, 0.9 Bitcoin, bam. That was from 1 day of trading. This guy says small wins with low leverage, but at least wins. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 trades in a row. There's people posting these all the time. This guy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 out of 10 trades, right? These people posting it. This guy, here we go again. MC is so good. Damn. So this guy, look. Since August 18th, started with 1.5 Bitcoin. Now he's got 4.1. So it's been what, 10 days? He's almost 4x'd, right? Testing out some new strategies, Market Cipher. Thanks. There's a couple of YouTubers. There's a couple of young guys that have started YouTube channels about them using Market Cipher, right? We have such a kick-ass community. Maybe getting the hang of this after all. This guy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 trades in a row. Damn. You can use it on Forex. You can use it on shit coins, gold, stocks, options, cattle, futures. It doesn't matter. If there's a market, if there's a chart to it, it fucking works. And that's the end of the story. And there's no like free replacement or anything. It's just no one does it like us. And don't believe the hating bullshit. Some people hate me because maybe they followed something or they misinterpreted something on YouTube, or maybe they were in my trade group and maybe we had a bad trade and they won 100x leverage like an idiot and didn't follow the rules of low leverage. Now they're out to get me. All kinds of shit. Look at this guy. 10 for 10 in the last 4 days now. Up over 0.6 Bitcoin. Boom, baby. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. The proof's there, baby. I'm telling you, there's no other group. If these free bullshit indicators were able to get the job done, people would have been doing it by now. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, I didn't mean to go all...
No, dude, that's awesome.
But it's true, man. That's how it is. There we go.
And you're back. There we go. Back to the beautiful face. All right. Sweet. So basically, I'll put a link to your YouTube channel down in the description and also your website down there. And then people can go on your YouTube channel, on your website, find your Discord, and then they can see all that stuff. And if they're interested, they can get involved with Market Cipher.
Thank you.
And they can look forward to Cynthia.
That's right. And Cynthia is banging. And please don't ask me when it's going to be released. We're aiming for by the end of this year. The bot itself, the most important thing, is already done. And I'm a little scared to say the results it's been getting because we probably have to tune it back a little bit. We might have to space out, have like 4 different groups because we don't want to flood the market books, right? So there's going to be some speed bumps. There's going to be some red lights, but we'll be able to get through it. It's going to be the best bot that hit the market. And it's not some bot where you can fuck with it yourself. It's going to be like shadow traded, where me and my guys are the ones that are handling the bot. You just set your money in your Bybit or trading account, whatever we use, and forget about it. You pay us every week a portion, 20% of your profits, right? That way we can lower the cost up front. I can release it right now and say it's $5,000, right? Here you go. Here's your bot. Or I can say it's like $500 up front, something that's affordable for a lot of people. I know there's people in India and shit that might not be able to afford it, and pay 20%. So I'm trying to make it so it's affordable for as many people in the world as possible, fairly. So I'm looking forward to it.
That's actually a really awesome model you're doing, because that way more people who can benefit from it can use it. And then, they're going to be making profits anyways, so you just share in that profit with them. I mean, that's like basically saying you believe in your product. Because you're saying, hey, I'm giving you $4,500 off for the cost of this because I believe that it will make me more money in the long term.
That's exactly what it is. Here's what I'm going to say. The bot right now for the past 2 months, if I have $1,000 and let it trade in 2 to 3 days, it turns it into 2,000, doubles it, right? In about 2 to 4 days has been the average. Even in this market this past week, it's doubled my account twice. Now, that doesn't mean I'm just going to leave money in there, set it, forget it. It's going to BitConnect all the way up to $1 billion. You withdraw money, right? And market books can only get so big. And so I'm not saying, so it might double my account's money like twice a week now. But when we actually have to bring it to scale and have people's money come in, we'll probably start out by like beta testing with like 500 people or 1,000 people. See how things go, see if we got to space certain things out. There's a lot to it, right? So, but
yeah,
it is the best bot out there. It's going to scorch any other competition, and I can't wait. But it's going to be some working on it, putting all my time into it. And man, I can't wait. Market Cipher kicks ass. I love all my supporters. Thank you, man, for having me on this channel. I really appreciate it. And to all you guys too, thank you.
Dude, thanks so much for taking the time. It's actually been a lot of fun chatting today.
For sure. Now I'm going to go play some World of Warcraft.
I knew it. All right. Peace. Go enjoy.